done an intro yet for this video. So hi and welcome back. I know I haven't posted in a while. I ended up not doing the rest of Vlogmas just because it was a long month and a lot happened. Lots of changes happened with us moving and Braxton getting a new job. So just trying to adjust to having him gone and me having all the kids all the time by myself. Sorry if you can hear cars going by. I'm at a pretty busy road right now. I'm kind of nervous to make this video, actually. But I'm doing it because I feel like, I don't know, it could help somebody. And I think it's just good to share and bring awareness to this type of thing. So today I am starting some therapy. This is not something I've ever talked about on this channel, about my struggles. I know a lot of you think that my life is pretty perfect and that I have everything together. And that's not true at all, actually. I mean, my life is good and I have a great life. I do deal with a lot of stuff, and anxiety is being one of those things. I've always kind of been an anxious person for as long as I can remember, just about little things. But now more so than ever, like probably the past 6 months, it's been the worst it's ever been. I had a pretty rough childhood, so I went to therapy for that like 6 years ago. I didn't really stay consistent with it. I'm not sure if that's what all this anxiety is stemming from, honestly. I think it's being a mom in general has given me a lot of anxiety, and triggers and all kinds of things have just happened. Just to give you a rundown, I don't leave the house very often anymore because I get very anxious to the point I'm crying. I went to the store a couple months ago by myself with a baby. I ended up texting my friend in the parking lot of the store to see if she could go in with me. I called my sister and no one could go in with me. I ended up crying. I went in the store and completely forgot everything I had to get because I was just so anxious and paranoid. And I have these intrusive thoughts that everything bad is gonna happen. And it's pretty bad. Like, it keeps me up at night and I'm awake and thinking about all this stuff that I just cannot stop thinking about. And I've been going through some other stuff, but I'm not sure if I'm gonna talk about that because it's a little personal. Not really a lot of people know how bad I actually struggle with anxiety because I just don't like people to feel bad for me. So the only people that really know like how hard this has been and me struggling so bad has been like my sister and Braxton and my brother. I am anxious right now. I don't even know what to say. My hands are shaking holding this camera, honestly. I've been very anxious about this appointment today, like sick to my stomach anxious. My chest is like quivery. I'm just not ready for somebody to ask things and certain things get brought up that has happened in my life. So I'm a little nervous about that. This is real life and this is what I'm going through. So I guess we're gonna talk about it. My appointment is in 10 minutes and I am waiting outside because I don't want to go in too early. I'm literally sweating. Also, I did chop off my hair and dyed it, so that's fun. And I've been thinking about going to counseling or therapy or whatever you want to call it for months now, probably even years. Like, I've really needed it, and now that it's literally interfering with my everyday life as bad as it is, and me being a mom, and literally I get so overwhelmed so easily and I don't know how to like process my emotions very well, so I cry a lot. And I feel like I'm like on an edge of a breaking point, and I'm usually very calm and very good at like stressful situations. Like with my kids, like I'm very patient with them, but the past couple months it's been really hard for me to stay patient. Not that I'm like yelling at my infants or anything, but like I'm getting like touched out, like my toddler or just having to hold a baby is becoming a lot. And I know that's normal, but I need to figure out ways to deal with that because I don't want to feel like that. I hate feeling somewhat at all frustrated with my kids. It makes me very overwhelmed and it makes me feel awful. It makes me feel like I'm a bad mom, even though I know I'm not. I do everything I can to be the best mom I can, and honestly, that's why I have to come do this counseling, not only for myself but for my kids, so they have the best me that they can have. I'm very nervous. I try not to get emotional before I even go in there, but clearly that's not working very well. Alright, well, I will talk to you guys when I get out, and I'll let you know how it goes. Okay, I just got done from in there, and I felt a lot better now than I did before I went in there. It went really good. The guy that I have is very nice, and he's chill and cool, so that's good. Makes me feel good. I'm not as emotional anymore. I only got a little bit emotional in there because, you know, reasons, but I think I'm gonna go get a soda or something because I just feel like some weight is taken off my chest knowing that I have somebody just to talk to now, and that things should get better from here on out. Okay, you guys, it is actually way later in the day. It's like nighttime. I just put the babies down to bed, so they are sleeping. Now that I am a lot more calm and not so anxious like I was earlier, I figured I could sit down and actually talk about some of the things I've been going through. Just for starters, this is not just, I know some people are probably gonna say like this is just postpartum anxiety and all that, and I do feel like that has to do with it, but I've been having problems like this before I had kids, but not as bad. Obviously, it's just been worse since I've had kids. So from the time I can remember, from just being little, I got anxious just going into like a grocery store or something, and also I remember being fairly young, like 10 years old, even younger, and worrying about like if my sister left to like drive to work and it was snowy, I would worry and have intense like intrusive thoughts about all these bad things that could happen to her since it's snowy outside. Like this could happen, that could happen, and it was really bad, and I'd really get in my head about it. And same with like us traveling anywhere, I'd get really in my head about every bad scenario that could happen, like a car wreck, just really anything. When I was younger, I kind of had like anxiety with depression. I struggled with some probably around like 13 to 15 years old. During those years, I had a really hard time. I didn't have the best childhood growing up. I mean, I did growing up, but I got adopted by my sister, and I've never said that on this channel, so only the people that know me in real life know that. So that's something big, that I am adopted. So as you can imagine, I have gone through some stuff with my biological mother, my life before I was adopted, and also life now with my mother. And that's been probably, things with her have been like a real big cause of all these thoughts in my life, and not all of it is on her, but just the things I went through have made me the way I am. And if that is something you guys want to hear more on, like hear more of a story on, I would consider talking about it, but just because I've never talked about it on here, and a lot of you guys don't know that that's my background, I don't want that to be something that you look at me and judge me on, and I know a lot of you won't judge me, and the majority of you won't, but it's a thought in my head that somebody is going to judge me, and I don't know, it's just weird. With that little bit of a explanation of what my life was like as a child, that kind of stems to like me being a mom now. Since I've had kids, people talk about like if you have strict parents or whatever, that you won't understand why they're strict until you have your own kids. But something that I've learned, instead of like why my parents were strict, I have had anxiety come along with having kids because I can't understand how my mother would ever do any of the things she's ever done because of how much I love my kids. It's been really hard for me to process the way my life has been because of her. I know that I would do anything for my kids, and to know that it's not the same that my mom would do for me has given me a lot of guilt that I have done something, or that I just wasn't good enough for her, and I know that's not what it is. Also, keep in mind, I have 4 older siblings. I am the baby of my mom. I'm not really going to talk about all that because I do have siblings, and I'm not sure if they really want everything out there, and I'm not sure if I do either. It's just kind of personal, I guess. But now, more so than ever, my anxiety has been really bad. After the babies were born, I had really bad postpartum anxiety. I know I did because it was right after they were born, and I could hear somebody like breaking into our house like every night. I could hear the blinds downstairs that were at our back door moving, and I was paranoid, so paranoid, to where I wasn't sleeping because I was so terrified somebody was in the house and something bad was going to happen. And I was waking Braxton up every freaking hour because I could hear somebody in the house even though there was nobody there. I was literally going nuts, I thought. Also, something that I struggle with is I get very ambitious to do things. Like, I want to start all these businesses and do all this cool stuff with my life, but I get so anxious that I literally can't. It's like I'm really happy and want to do all this stuff one second, and then the next second I literally can't even freaking pick up my living room. And it's very back and forth, and every day is different. Some days it's really bad, some days it's not so bad. I scheduled this therapy appointment the end of last week because I couldn't wait. I couldn't keep living like this anymore because I was crying all the time. Still am crying all the time. Today was just my first day, so hopefully I get better soon. And I just wanted to talk about why, one, I'm sharing this and why I actually made the decision to go to counseling. When my grandpa passed away, and I ended up getting pregnant with my twins, that was a real eye-opener to me and really sealed my faith. Like, that made me know there's a God, and it really, like, I don't question what there is anymore because of that scenario. I've been praying about all these thoughts and feelings I've been having recently, and I was just asking God, like, you need to just give me a sign. Like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Like, I cannot do this anymore. Well, after praying like that, we ended up having to go to dinner with Braxton's family. And if any of them are watching this, don't take any of this to heart. It was nothing you guys did. But we went to dinner, but before we went, I literally had a meltdown because I was so anxious about going. I knew everybody that was going. I'm comfortable with them all, but I was just so anxious about what could go wrong that I literally cried to Braxton, and I was just so paranoid about leaving. But I still went, and I made it happen. Usually I would not, if I'm like crying about something like that, I would not push myself to do it because I just don't like to do that. But he had family in town and I wanted to go to dinner with everybody. Like, I wanted to go, but my body was physically having a reaction of anxiety. I was like having a hard time breathing. I was crying. I was just very out of it. After I was crying and all that, me and Brax were on our way to dinner. I ended up telling him, like, I've really got to do something because I cannot keep doing my day-to-day life feeling the way I do. And we kind of talked about therapy, and I just didn't, not that I didn't want to, but almost I'm embarrassed that I would have to, because I just want to be fine and normal, and I don't want anything that's happened in my life to be a reason that I need help right now, I guess. So that next day I had a hair appointment, and I had never met this girl. And I don't go and do things usually by myself, like with people I don't know. And I went and got my hair done by this girl, and she's like a year older than me. I got to the appointment like 20 minutes early because I was so paranoid about like getting there late or all these things that could go wrong, obviously. Well, I ended up meeting her, and she was really nice. And all of a sudden we just got on the topic of anxiety. I don't know how it came up, but it did. And all these thoughts that I have in my head that I struggle with, she was like saying. And I've never heard anybody in my life, like any of my family or anybody that I've talked to about the way I feel, like I cannot express how I feel. Like I cannot say it because I don't know how I'm feeling. And she was telling me all these thoughts that she had also, and it just opened my eyes, like that I was supposed to meet her at that right time, because she was literally speaking what I could not physically say. And she talked to me about therapy, and that she finally decided that she needed to do it. And that right there was my sign that I needed from God to be like, you need to go do this. Like, this is what you need to do. And so that following week, I think it was, I scheduled an appointment to go see a therapist. So if you guys are watching this video and you are having intrusive thoughts about like anything, honestly, like your house burning down or somebody breaking into your house or all this bad stuff that could happen, this is your sign to go get help, because I don't want to cry, because everybody deserves it. Nobody deserves to feel like this, and I know I don't, and my kids don't deserve to have their mom feel like this. They deserve the best mom. Sorry. Alright, so before I cry, try not to be emotional, but I just want to be really real with you guys. And this is how my life is, and I've struggled like this for a long time. So yeah, so if you're watching this video and you need to decide to go see a therapist or reach out for help, do, no matter your thoughts. If you're depressed, you have anxiety, you're sad, anything, your thoughts are valid. And you deserve to know how to cope with it, or what to do, and how to live the best life ever. But I think I've said enough, and I think you guys kind of know what I'm going through now. I want to continue posting more, but like I said earlier, that December was just a really hard month, and I just needed to not worry about anything else. I plan to post more because we're all moved into our new place, and we're not gonna have much of moving vlogs because that was all in December and I didn't vlog it. I think that is all for this video, and I hope you guys enjoyed. Have a happy new year, because I didn't post a New Year's vlog like I was planning. 98% of my views come from people who are not subscribed, so it would mean so much if you guys could subscribe and support this channel to at least hit 500 subscribers this year. That's just my goal, is only 500, but if we can get more than that, that would be so awesome. And don't forget to like and comment. If you guys have any questions or anything, you can comment them down below. And we'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.